weeks into week 2 of spring ball. Just how has it been going so far?
It's good. You can see some carryover. Anytime you've done something twice or you go through it a second time, there's some familiarity with these guys as far as the coverages, and that's kind of been refreshing. A thing I've learned in coaching is you kind of really forget what you really didn't understand and you really lock in on what you did. And so now that we're going into a second time, there's a lot of carryover, and you can see a lot more confidence, and those guys are playing a lot faster because of it.
Is there carryover for the coaches as well?
Yeah, heck yeah. I think that goes for everyone, even for us. You're able to think faster and really hone in on the little things. For us, it's a learning experience as well, and trying to figure out ways to communicate better and fine tune our teaching is something that I think that we've done a good job of. In the second time through.
As far as your crop of newcomers, what impresses you about them? What excites you about them?
First off, they're good people and they love football. What's really good is Coach Venables puts such an emphasis on guys preparing when they've got their own time, and so we've got a bunch of guys who've now come through this a second time, and they've taken those young guys under their wing, and they've taught those guys how to prepare, how to learn in the free time, and take advantage of when we're not around, and really kind of teaching each other. And that's something that I don't think last year they quite understood yet, and you're seeing a lot more of that this year.
Is Bakari playing safety?
No, he's not. He's playing corner for us right now. As you know, though, in all the multiple packages that we play, these guys can play a variety of positions. So
I don't think we've had a chance to talk to you on record since signing day back in December. So how arduous of a process was it throughout Peyton's recruitment? Of course, that was one of the hottest topics.
Did he say arduous? That's a lie. Well, at the end of the day, I was very proud of him. I think it's something that he always wanted to do. I think it's really hard, especially in this day and time when you have a lot of things and a lot of people in your ear. And I think he showed a lot of maturity in doing what he wanted to do at the end of the day. As you know, we've all got to make grown-up decisions, and that won't be the last one he's made. But I definitely think it's something that he learned from. I think he's at peace. And the really cool thing for me is, in the recruiting process, you see what these young men go through and how as the time goes and the stress builds, how it really weighs on them. And then once you see it's over and he gets on campus and he's still that same person that you met the first time back in January is really cool for me. And just watching these guys open up and really seeing their who they are, their personalities come to light.
Being a freshman, is it moving real fast for him right now?
Well, it moves fast, yeah. Really fast. We, as you guys know, we're very multiple in what we do, and Coach Venables is very demanding, and he expects perfection, which we all do as coaches, and on top of that, it's the effort piece. And so when you're coming from high school to college and you have to start all over again, it's when things go twice as fast and you're having to learn twice as fast and you're having to learn twice as much. It takes time, and the thing that you value in this profession more than anything is experience. And when those bullets start flying, being able to ignore the noise, so to speak, ignore the speed, and just lock in on what you're supposed to do.
What does it mean to you guys adding a guy like Pearson, who's played so much great football to two different places?
You can tell he's played a lot of snaps. Everyone knows he's a physical football player. But the thing that I appreciate most about him is because of the amount of snaps he's played, he doesn't get rattled, and you can. He's been under a number of coaches, obviously, and I think sometimes that's a good thing because all you've got to do is figure out that language barrier and how to communicate with them and basically say, hey, this is like that and this is like this. And he's very confident in himself. He's quiet. He's a learner, and he's a leader. And he really takes the younger guys under his wing and tries to help those guys out as well.
Did you see that kind of year 2 jump with Robert?
Yeah, the thing is again, he should have been in high school last year at this time and going through spring ball, and sometimes we forget that. And as a guy that hadn't played defense for very long, he hadn't played safety, and he's very talented, he's very smart, he's going to have an unbelievable career here. But you're starting to see, that athletic ability come through, and it'll only get better and better with the more confidence he gets.
We talked about the difference in just year 1 and year 2, your guys understanding, going through the scheme and all that type of stuff. Can you, individually with Kenny Bowen and Keith Lawrence, can you talk about the difference year 1 and year 2 with those two?
I think for Key, for me, I've seen a huge jump. He was somebody last year you could tell at times was thinking too much. And you're seeing him start to make a lot more plays, had interception today. And I think that just comes from confidence and not having to think and playing fast. And he's starting to smile a lot more, and that's something I can see that he's enjoying playing the game. We all know how competitive Billy is. Billy wants to be a leader. Billy cares. Billy wants to win every rep. And, the thing about Billy is Billy's worst enemy is always going to be him. He holds himself to such a high standard, and the good thing for him is he gets more and more experience in this defense. I think that you're going to start to see him become more vocal, and that's something that we need at our position the most.
With McCarty recovering from that knee injury, what's his process been like this spring, just as far as getting up to speed on everything, and how involved has he been?
We hold him just as accountable as everybody else in meetings and walkthroughs. We expect him to take notes just like everybody else. He's got workout groups at 6:30 in the morning just like everybody else. And the only thing that he doesn't do that everybody else does is go full speed in practice. But he sits right next to me in meetings, and I make sure that he's taking notes and getting ready and asking questions. So he's locked in just like the rest of them.
It seems like there's a certain level of comfort that comes with the fact that you can sit here and talk about 5, 6, 7 guys at the safety position right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, to me, as much as anything, after a year, they get to know my personality, and more importantly, I get to know them. You know, I want to teach them in the best way possible, and everybody's different. And so, in time, you start to understand how to communicate better with guys. Some guys, they want more video. Some guys, they need to draw it on paper. Some guys, you got to walk them through it. You got to talk them through it. And so, as I start to learn their personalities, I can really reach them. You know, where they need it the most as far as how to teach those guys.
Is it more simply said that that group's just better right now than they were a year ago, just by the product of numbers?
I think, yeah. I mean, we're deeper. That's, we're deeper, and we've got more experience in this system, and we'll have more experience the next year and the year after, and that just comes with time. And like I said, we're very multiple in what we do, and we ask a lot of our safeties to do a lot of things and to play a lot of different techniques. And in time, as we get better and we get more experienced, you're going to see less of a learning curve and more of an opportunity to make plays.